Hey everyone, Will Phillips here with the Phillips Group. All right, so this video is around. So we've got a new plan. So now what? So one issue I see in the market often is that um, a business will hire a marketing firm, consulting firm, someone to come in and help design the future state. They do a lot of listening. They uh, bring with them some specific expertise in the industry, and then they deliver. They deliver probably a PowerPoint deck where it feels very aspirational. There might be some tears in the room. People are really excited. And then what? So here's what I normally see happen: is we have this aspirational mountaintop new thing. Maybe it's a strategic plan, maybe it's mission, vision, values. But when this is done well, it pushes the bounds of what the organization can deliver. It puts them to that top level, whereas they're currently operating here in whatever that area is. So you are here, and what you're now saying to your customers, what you're promising is that we are here, which is great from a marketing standpoint. It creates more engagement, buy-in, traction. But what about on the operational side? What I see normally happen is they get this, firms get that, companies get that, and they continue to operate like this until this stops, people stop believing it. And you just go back to where you were to begin with. So, what's the alternative? Um, a mission, vision, values, a strategic plan, a brand statement, they're promises you're making to your customer base. So, identity. And those promises are fulfilled. That's identity. I ran out of letters, so we got 3 letters. Through the functional business drivers. So we have finance for an F. Finance will need to collect timely, have a seamless billing process, all sorts of things. Things that are and are not customer facing. We have HR. HR will need to, and the leadership team collectively, will need to create a culture that reflects that mission, vision, values, that business 2.0. Or else we're making promises to our employees that just aren't true, that we're not going to keep. The leadership team, they need to make strategic decisions that are oriented towards becoming business 2.0. Operations needs to develop products, services in such a way that it fulfills that promise. Customer service needs to resolve issues in such a way that it fulfills that promise. And so, what I see as the huge gap normally is that this does not happen. There is no accounting for where the organization is today and what it needs to become. So the alternative is when you have a new peak that you're trying to hit. That's really bad. We got to start over there. When you have a new peak that you're trying to hit, this is the peak that we talked about up here. What you should do is you should do some sort of organizational audit in some of those areas I talked about above. Give each department a score out of 100. 50% or a percentage. Wow, I really sure what diagonal lines. And then identify what are those things that will get in the way of us living out these new promises that we're making to our employees, our customers, and our stakeholders. And then what you do is once you have that that analysis done, that audit done, and you know where you are, then you can implement solutions that that you can use to fulfill that brand statement. So at the end of the day here, what I'm trying to help you do is to not get this shiny piece of paper that everyone loves, that you're so inspired by, that then becomes worthless 6 months later because you never made operational changes to account for that new reality that you're being pushed to. So instead, go through, do an audit, give each department a score, figure out how close you are in accomplishing that future state and living out that promise, and then develop solutions to overcome whatever might get in the way of you living out that promise. So this has been it. You've been wonderful. And remember, blame the performance environment, not the people.